Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast from March 31st to April 6th of 2024. So our quote for the week says, "To get to the next level, break through old, entrenched, self-sabotaging habits." Deep breath. We want to let go of unconscious habits and replace them with conscious practices. Deep breath. When you hear the forecasts, the quote will make perfect sense. It's a very personal week with Cancer and Aries kicking. It's all very personal. So our week does start on March 31st, which is a Sunday, with Vesta, who's already been through her retrograde and direct process, is now re-entering Cancer for the final time. We've been in a year-long journey from June of 23 to June of 24. Vesta's been focusing its recalibration efforts on your Gemini and Cancer departments. This cycle of basic recalibration occurs once every 4 years and carries a significant transformative energy. That's Vesta gets back to Gemini or Cancer every 4 years. But then I dug a little deeper to see when its last retrograde through Gemini was 2012 to 13. So we would have had a huge focus on our thinking, ideas, education, evolution of our consciousness, which was individual, social, and collective during those years for sure. Similarly, the last retrograde solely in Cancer was 0506, which is interesting too, because we got these Aries Libra eclipses that are back. And we're going into Virgo Pisces eclipses, which is all that 2003 to 05-06 zone. But this combo of Gemini and Cancer last occurred in 1994-95, marking a pivotal era in my own sacred journey for sure. Vesta went backwards in Cancer, reviewing how important physical safety and emotional security is to every human being. The retrograde asked you to reestablish personal self-care practices so that you can be stronger and more sovereign going forward, which is now. Okay, so hopefully we've done a little cleaning and cleansing and clearing in there. As it goes direct in Gemini, we activate this new consciousness around your own personal needs. As you reassess and realign your language with your renewed vision, you'll be able to rewrite your personal story, integrating a narrative enriched by a supportive network of friends and allies who champion your aspirations and sacred endeavors. Ashe. The shadows of Gemini and Cancer is really not feeling like you belong, and a certain level of alienation happens in that zone. So friends and allies who champion your aspirations and sacred endeavors, it's come up a couple of times on the calls, is we want to be around people who celebrate us, not just merely tolerate us. Vesta's lingering influence directly impacts both cardinal and mutable signs: Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, as well as Gemini, Sag, and Virgo, Pisces. This cosmic journey deeply affects 2/3 of our chart, offering a potent and rare connection to our sacred selves. Remember, Vesta's the virgin, whole unto herself. This is where we go back to our soul level and work on things in a very, very private, intimate way. Those bearing Gemini Cancer energy undergo a profound initiation into their sacred self, a rarity in celestial alignments. Reflect upon who you were and what you held as sacred back in 94-95, a time that converges with other cosmic themes from the early 90s that are also back now. I have provided reminders all along this journey. Now we are on the home stretch, about to complete the mission. What has evolved for you over the last year in terms of your focus, communication, and self-care? It is time to officially make room for new, conscious, and sacred practices that help keep you healthy, whole, and safe, not to mention independent and sovereign. Now, if for those who care about the dates, Vesta entered Gemini June 22nd of 23, then she entered Cancer September 13th, retrograded at 7 Cancer November 2nd, re-entered Gemini December 20th, she was retrograde, then she went direct at 21 Gemini February 8th, and now she's direct and re-entering Cancer March 30th, and she will finally enter Leo June 19th of this year. So we've officially been in this process for a full year, and it probably makes a little more sense with hindsight on the back end than it did going in or going through it. But these things are becoming more and more important. How we communicate and express ourselves really tells the universe a whole lot of different things. and how we take care of ourselves. Tells the universe a whole bunch of things about what's really important. And this would be a great time to go review the asteroids replay as well. And y'all, don't think I'm crazy. I am crazy. But here's one of those Mercury retrograde corrections. I realized that I got out the replay, but I did not send you all your activations from the asteroids call. So those who were there live and registered will get those probably sometime next week. Will be when I have a day or so to attend to those. I thought I did them because I set up the email. I got it all formatted and organized for what it was going to be. And then I probably hit the wall and needed to stop for the night and needed to come back to it. And I've been really busy since. So I apologize, y'all. Normally I get those out within 72 hours. And that was just Sunday, the 31st. Monday, April 1st, Mercury retrogrades in Aries officially until April 25th. Mercury moving through Aries tends to make us think more instinctively. And now that it's going retrograde, there's a huge focus on you, the individual, and how you think, communicate, and express yourself. This is a mixed blessing. On one hand, you can take in a lot of information and easily sort and sift it based on what your immediate needs are. But on the other hand, it can make you jump the gun without thinking things all the way through because you are reacting instead of responding. Now that's on a regular day. Just imagine retrograde. Okay, what happens during retrogrades is things get reversed. We realize things we didn't recognize beforehand. There's a lot of corrections and updates and backups. Do your backups. All that good stuff needs to be happening. And then think about the area of life being Aries. This is the zone that needs the reset. And usually in our charts, it covers 2 zones a little bit. Not always, but sometimes. Reacting comes from the head and responding comes from the heart. It is best to use the next 3 weeks to dig into your own ideas and motivations. Why do you want what you want? Why are you thinking the way you do? What is motivating your ideas, thoughts, and concepts? How has your personal presentation evolved over the last 5 years? Also, because it is spring, it is time to think about which ideas will best serve your personal needs and professional goals in the coming year. So it is another one of those times where I remind you that this kind of self-centeredness and focus on your own ideas is not based in ego, but is essential to how you make your choices and decisions every day. If you do not look out for your own ideas and/or personal needs, then who will? You can also keep in mind that Libra energy balances out Aries energy. So make sure that your ideas create win-win situations where your needs are met and you are still being of service to others in a meaningful way. But don't worry about that too much until you actually review and decide what you want, which will be way after it goes direct, which was April 25th, right? So always think of Mercury retrograde as a process. 3 weeks of pre-shadow, which has been happening March 9th to April 1st. Here we are. 3 weeks of actual retrograde, April 1st to the 25th, and 3 weeks of post-shadow, April 25th to May 15th. It's always like this. 3 weeks before, 3 weeks during, 3 weeks after. So what happens in the pre-shadow is we start to get hints about what needs corrections, what needs updates or upgrades. Things start to go sideways. They don't make any sense. And by the same token, I find that miracles happen and reversals can be good things sometimes. So be open and receptive to turnabouts because sometimes they put you on a better track than you were on to begin with. By the same token, my other caveat with Mercury retrograde is that usually in my tracking, and most of you know I'm a tracker, it's only one of the 3 to 4 retrogrades per year that really puts its foot in your ass. Okay, so it's really good to know what they are. And so I'm going to drop the replays in here of part 1 and part 2 of the Mercury retrogrades for the year, where we did all kinds of activations, divinations, and guidance and things for how to do this. I didn't intend for it to be a 2-part series here, but that's how it shook out because this one in Aries is a very, very big deal because so many other big things are going on. So part 1, we covered the Sag Capricorn retrograde, which brought us into the crossover into the new year of 2024. And we talked about this Aries one. So that's on part 1. Part 2 is Leo, Virgo, and Sag at the end of the year, which is going to carry us into the new year again. So Mercury goes through little phases like this, where it retrogrades over the crossover, which does usually change how the year unfolds for real. But my point before I went down that rabbit hole was that only one of them, maybe two, can be disruptive to you personally. So knowing where your fire signs are this year is really important. Where's your Sag, Aries, and Leo? Because primarily that's what's up, except there is a little crossover with Earth. So we're getting creative and we're also improving our containers for our creative babies. This is all Mercury's domain. So both of those calls are really fun and enlightening and good to go back to right now. So on the 3rd, Venus conjuncts Neptune. This is Pisces juju, very good. And also right before she slips into Aries. So we're going to talk about that. This energy combines the potency of your vision with your core values, signifying the inception of a new dream or the emergence of a new creative endeavor waiting to manifest through you. Presently, it is ideal to contemplate the broader scope of your life, ensuring that your connection to the greater whole, your contributions, and your purpose align harmoniously with your current values and priorities. This period calls for intuition over rigidity or linear thinking, encouraging inspiration rather than persuasion, deception, or force. Not the way to go with these two. Clarity in finances and relationships might prove elusive under this influence. Therefore, channeling your energy into creative or artistic pursuits is recommended. This activation serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of all aspects of life. Aligning your internal values with external manifestations significantly aids in bringing your vision to life. Trust your intuition, remain integrity, stay grounded, and keep good boundaries, particularly when Neptune's influence is at play. Deep breath. But it's a wonderful day because it must be a little bit later. Oh, the next day on the 4th, she moves into Aries. So on the 3rd, when I have Eagle Medicine in the Soul Sisters monthly circle, we gather around animal medicine and we get in our bodies with this one. Wednesday, April 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. $25 gets you the tools and replay, and the tools are pretty juicy. The prayers and affirmations are around independence, initiation, and identity with Eagle. Journal prompts are around self-preservation, your desires, and rejuvenation. And the Mad Libs are about self-awareness, self-value, and self-knowledge. So I highly recommend the tools and the replay. Join us live if you can on Wednesday. And then Thursday, once Venus enters Aries until April 29th. We want to consider this an introduction to your newly initiated self. Venus has just made a full journey through the signs, activating your inner sacred feminine. It took her a little longer than usual because she lingered in Leo in 23-24, the crossover to the new year, as she does every 8 years. We are navigating the release side of her current cycle, and this month the clearing happens at the crown chakra as she moves through Aries. So the last time she was in Aries was February 2023. How have you grown and evolved? How have your priorities and values shifted regarding your personal independence, individual power, deepest passion, and true purpose? How have things shifted? What is complete and what is initiating where your relationships, finances, and magnetics are concerned? What is it all worth to you? What is the difference in how you express yourself pre-2020 COVID and how you want to express in new ways now post-2020 COVID? Remember, Venus rules our relationships and our values and everything we care about, kinship and connection. Most humans are communal creatures. We're not meant to be isolated, but that break to realign is allowing us to choose the communities we want to step back into, and it afforded us a recalibration of boundaries that nobody has to apologize for. Boundaries are good and you need to stand up for them along the way. What have you learned about your immediate friends, family, community, and your place or preferences within each connection? You know, how much do you really need people and how much do you need intentional solitude? Are your relationships a vibrational match? Do they embody conscious equal partnership and the reciprocity that feels delicious, sincere, joyful, and balanced? That's what I'm calling it. Delicious, sincere, joyful, and balanced. It's also a good time to look at the houses and planets with Aries energy activated to know what specifics are coming up for you personally. So I have Vesta Saturn conjunction, my sacred reality, getting an upgrade, absolutely. New practices and protocols are going into place, messing with yay teesh, honey, you will grow and evolve. Then my North Node, life path, and Chiron healing process, which I share with many of you out there. So this Venus moving through there is waking up things there that have evolved as well and initiating new possibilities for our relationships and finances, or the things that we really care about at this time. Venus is all about your instinctive attractions and innate magnetics, what you naturally magnetize and repel. And Aries is all about being brave, walking by faith, and getting things started. When we have a deep passion and true purpose, we lead by example, and that is the energy within you being initiated at this time. As you are able to anchor this renewed sense of self-identity and purpose that you've developed over the last 1 to 8 years, there will be new opportunities for new relationships and collaborations, but you may have to initiate and lead more often. Deep breath. Remember, when you know who you are and what you want and are willing to be individually responsible, you inspire others to carry their own weight and be responsible for their own energy and vibration. It's always you is an old Kellyism that means whatever you are magnetizing into your life is but a reflection of what is within. Whatever is being repelled is also revealing. You can take your power back by being responsible for your own desires as well as what is within and around you. And then that automatically shifts your outer world in brilliant, beautiful, and completely unexpected ways. More than ever, we have to operate from heart center and higher consciousness. You have to actually care to get engaged nowadays. And so often you must clear away all that you do not care about so that what you do care about has more room to grow, evolve, and expand. This Venus work is going to be very personal for those with Aries, Libra, and Cancer, Capricorn activated in their charts. So I've included my bullets list for some good reminders. And I hope that the picture I put in here for Venus and Aries, she's my Brigitte, who has a crystal ball striking lightning, and normally on my computer that lightning moves and strikes and is a animation. But sometimes that doesn't translate, but you get the gist of what it might feel like as we navigate Venus through Aries. On the light side, the ability to know and articulate your personal needs, instinctive self-preservation that negotiates up front, no apologies, being clear and decisive while still considering others, being fiercely protective of life and loved ones, knowing who you are and what you want, mastering patience, consideration, and empathy, being passionate about your life's purpose, accomplishing goals with a clear direction in life, staying present, trusting, and walking by faith, valuing physical activity and healthy competition, knowing when to fight and when to back off, being a fearless leader that cultivates independence in others, thriving as a self-sufficient, independent adult with a youthful spirit all your life. So those of you who live with Venus in Aries, you get to do that naturally. And by the way, this cycle is Leo. The next cycle is Aries. That'll be spring of 2025 when we do a new Venus book and a whole new reading and all that. So this is the warm-up, because by the time she gets back to Pisces Aries, she's going to linger a year from now. On the shadow side of Venus and Aries, we have being competitive in love, game playing and manipulation, acting rashly in the heat of the moment, being impulsively cruel or indiscriminate anger, being confrontational in an effort to get your own way, acting hard when soft would get better results, completely disregarding those near and dear to you, acting like a petulant, spoiled child, saying things you cannot take back, tit for tat mentality or a desire for vengeance. That's a toxic version of justice. That's not actually balanced justice. Creating struggle unnecessarily, feeling like everything has to be a fight, expecting those you love to prove their love, testing them unnecessarily. Deep breath. We've all seen that shadow side too. So I hope you will join us on Thursday the 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, for the monthly Venus Circle. This month is Aries and the crown chakra release, so we're clearing that consciousness. All that shadow is going out of here. On Thursday, April 4th is when we will discuss it, and you are cordially invited to join us for drop-ins. There are many who subscribe and have their custom guide with all their activations for the whole entire year. And I might have mentioned this last week or on a call somewhere, but I need to reiterate here how valuable the Venus reading and custom guide is anytime, whether you join the circle or not. Let's put it that way. Especially if you have strong Leo or Gemini energy this go round, and especially if you're focused on relationships and finances and your magnetics, what you naturally magnetize and naturally repel. Like I said, then the guide is good for any time, and it'll cover you all the way till spring of 2025, a full year from now, when I'll make a whole new book. So if you're feeling called, do that one. And then our last activation for the week falls on Saturday, April 6th, which is Final Four in my household, so we'll be having fun that day. And now that Venus is in Aries, it has an opportunity that may be the first one. I'd have to do some digging with Pluto in Aquarius. So this is air and fire and an opportunity for some smooth transformation. This energy delves into the depths of emotions, intensifying connections and deepening attachments. Relationships, be they friendships or romantic bonds, become much deeper, sometimes even more passionate, including any physical or intimate encounters. When Pluto is in the mix, there is no room for pretense or superficiality. With Venus involved, the focus is usually on your values and finances or your relationships and how you engage with others. If you are seeking to forge deeper connections, now is the time, and the energy supports this pursuit. This energy serves as a catalyst for positive transformation within your relationships, partnerships, or collaborations. It provides added strength to address what requires change or brings forth topics that need deeper exploration or more candid dialogue and open conversations. Your emotional sensitivity might increase significantly, messing with Pluto, so it is critical to surround yourself with those who unconditionally love and support you. Alternatively, taking time alone for self-reflection on your feelings and desires can also be very beneficial. Deep breath. So we've already talked about this. With Mercury going retrograde, it's important that we honor the shifts that Venus is trying to activate and just know that some of that is tied to what we think we want with our creative ideas and thoughts and concepts and projects and self-expression, again, with upgrading how you present yourself to the world. All that is supported for an upgrade right now. I don't know about this being out with other people stuff. I feel like more intentional solitude and reflection and getting clarity on who you are and what you want is probably better with this energy. And I know that's why I chose the quote about getting all the self-sabotage habits out of here, because so much of this week's energy is totally focused on you, the individual, and you and your personal life. It doesn't really have anything to do with other people. So let's take advantage of that moment in time to focus on you, the individual, and recalibrate so that your interactions with others is always better. If we don't take that time for ourselves, then it's much easier for other people to push our buttons. So honor it. Aries is a good time. We're moving from Pisces into Aries now. And it's the once a year. I give everyone permission to be selfish and just focus on you. Do you, boo-boo. And everything else will fall into place. I trust. All right, y'all. I hope you will join me live this week on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday's Eagle Medicine. Thursday is Venus Circle. And don't forget, we're also in the eclipse portal for Aries Libra. So these zones of Aries, Libra, and Cancer, Capricorn are getting tapped, okay? And no one is exempt. So reach out directly if you feel called. I hope you have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.